running in the rain. I may even go insane. She don't ask me to explain. She gets me, yeah. I met Buddy in 2007. I was 8 years old, and you know, I had no idea, you know, I was gonna get to play with him that night. But it was at a little theater in my hometown. It's called the Zeiterion Theater. And the first time I heard Buddy was on the Crossroads Guitar Festival in 2004. And you know, I think everything about him stuck out. You know, whether it's his guitar playing or his stage mannerisms or himself, just everything stuck out about him. So I heard in 2007 he was coming, you know, close to us. So I was like, oh, Dad, we should go. So my dad knew people, you know, at the theater, you know, to get us backstage to, you know, say hi to him. And luckily we did. We got to go backstage and say hi. And he was just, Buddy is just in general just a really, really nice, generous guy. I think I knew a little bit that he does bring up kids if he knows they can play a little bit, and he always kind of gives them a chance, or the time of day, because most people really don't, but he does. So we went backstage, and you know, I had my little Squire Strat with me, you know, for him to sign, and you know, I just shook his hand, you know, really nice guy, just kind of very welcoming. And then I asked him, you know, for a picture, you know, we took a picture, and then I asked if he could sign my guitar, and you know, really cool, he did. And he asked me if I could play, you know, a couple of licks, so I kind of just, you know, played whatever I played. And then he said, "You'll be ready when I call you." So I'm like, what? So, I mean, that night was just really, really spectacular. We played Sweet Home Chicago, and we did a couple of blues things. But it was just an incredible night, and ever since then, he's been helping me out, and he's really been the best. Greg Allman actually came up to me, getting ready to go on the album. He was sitting at his organ, you know, just getting ready to go on. And I happened to be standing over there, and he came over, and he was like, "Man, you are awesome. It's like huge honor to hear you play." And I'm like, wow, Greg Allman saying that to me is not something you'd hear every day. But yeah, the second night, the finale was really cool. You know, you look down, you see Derek Trucks, you see Gary Clark Jr., you see Jimmy Vaughn, you see Eric Clapton, you see Warren Haynes, you see the Los Lobos, you see, you know, so many great players. Buddy Guy to your left. So it was probably the highlight, like definitely the highlight of my career so far. Playing that festival. And just the whole lineup you know, have your name next to all of those people, just itself is just so great. And playing with Buddy and Robert Randolph was awesome too. I got a standing ovation when I did my solo in the second song, and the third song too. So that was really something to get Madison Square Garden up off their feet. Sometimes you gotta pinch yourself when that stuff happens, because it's just like, you know, it's huge. Derek Trucks is actually, you know, a really big influence on me, and I get to meet him, you know, 4 or 5 times. And he's just a great guy, you know. He's really generous, you know. He doesn't really have to meet people every single time he plays. So it's an honor every single time I get to say hi to him. But yeah, he's definitely a career that I would like to model after. Well, it's probably been from Buddy, because I'm obviously, you know, with him the most out of them all. He just kind of says to don't pay attention, you know, to the bad stuff people say about you, because you know, you kind of just got to blow that stuff off. You don't really need to listen to that, and you know, just always to stay humble and always be listening for other players out there, and never say you're good. You know, you always want to get better. You know, so it's some valuable lessons out there. You know, he says it every night on stage, and it's a huge responsibility. But I mean, me and among others can probably do it. You know. I think we can do it. Johnny Lang is one of them, you know, Gary Clark Jr. is one of them, Derek Trucks is one of them, Kenny Wayne Shepherd's one of them, Joe Bonamassa is definitely one of them. You know, there's so many different people out there that are really doing it, and are making a living doing it, especially, you know, people like Gary Clark Jr. that have just came out but are already kind of trying to carry the torch and kind of putting their own stuff into it. So I think I'm at a pretty good position to go on that path, you know. I just graduated 8th grade. I'm gonna be a freshman in high school next year. But you know, I think it's easier this year because I think the school is kind of cool. I mean, they were really easy going about what I do. I kind of just get the work and kind of just go and make up the test or whatever I need to do. I mean, obviously most of the stuff is in the summer for now, you know, because I have school and stuff. And I always try to keep a balanced life out with that. You know, next year I think we're just gonna try, I mean, we've already kind of talked to the attendance people about that stuff, and we've already kind of worked something out with the school for next year. So I think it should be cool, because I think I have a lot of stuff in November that I'm doing that I might need to miss a week or two. But it shouldn't be a problem. I always try to stay calm about it, you know.